All right. Sorry for the delayed start, guys. Had some technical difficulties, got logged out unexpectedly, had to get myself logged back in to restream. But we are live, ready to go, ready to get into it. I will say I apologize. I didn't get a recap out there for you guys on Sunday. It was my birthday. And on Monday, me and the editor went and played TPC Deer. Had a pretty good time there. Very beautiful course. The editor beat me in match play, but I beat him in stroke play. So we'll just call it even. But we had a lot of fun. But that is why I didn't get you guys a recap. Before I get into the recap, though, I will shout out the For Fantasy's Sake golf outing. That is August 2nd. Starts at 8. You obviously want to get there hour early to register, or you can register before. Reach out to DJ or myself, and we'll help you get signed up. It's $320 a team. That's $80 a person. All proceeds go to charity, which it's a really great cause. It gives back to the local community. Also included in your entry fee, you'll get 2 vouchers. You'll get vouchers for drinks and food. The drinks are for Lifted Energy, and the food is Hungry Carnivore. I personally, I haven't had them, but I've heard good things, so I'm looking very much forward to that. But yeah, let us know if you guys are interested in getting signed up for that. That's something we'd love to do every year, and it starts with year 1. Please let us know, and we'll get you signed up. But now going forward here, the recap for last week, Cam Young pretty much ran away with it after Friday. It was pretty much over. He shut the door Saturday, walked to a 6-stroke win. Shout out to Cam. He's having a hell of a year. I think it's really just Fitzpatrick, Cam Young, and Goddard are probably your 3 front runners for Player of the Year right now. I guess you'd give the edge to Fitz since he has 3 wins. But Cam's won the Players, and now he just won last week too. So it's pretty much been kind of a season you've been expecting from Cam for a couple of years. Ever since he won Rookie of the Year, everyone's kind of been hoping he would have that big breakout. And I think it might be this year. It might be this year, you know. I will say last week at the Cadillac, it didn't play as tough as I was expecting. That's for sure. I expected a much tougher tournament. I know only a handful of guys got into double digits under par, but I don't know. I guess the way it was advertised, I was just expecting this super long, super difficult track where there'd be very limited scoring. I think there were ways to get in trouble around there, but I think the scoring was higher than I had expected for sure. But with this week, playing at Quail Hollow, this is another long, difficult course, and there's some things definitely to consider this week. So today, for example, there's going to be some either there was some rain today, or there's going to be some rain tonight, and rain going into the round tomorrow. So for a course that plays firm and fast, what does this mean? This means it's going to soften it up, therefore making it less difficult. So I think the first 2 days, you're going to see some scoring opportunities just because it's not going to play as firm and fast as it normally does. So you got to keep that in mind when you're building your lineups. Like, it's not exactly going to be 100% tough every day. There's going to be a couple of days that are going to be more gettable than the other 2. So just keep that in mind. It's still going to be a tough tournament. I think Sunday you'll look up and it still will be a dogfight. But the first 2 days are going to have their opportunities for you to score. And the big thing that everybody's been talking about this week is it's a driver, a bomber's paradise is what they've been saying. And it is. I mean, if you look at historically, it's a bomber's paradise. Guys that can bomb it off the tee tend to win here, and they have success here. So that's something to definitely keep in mind building your lineups. You want guys that hit the ball a long way. The rough is not particularly penal right now. So there's not as much penalty if you miss the fairway. So you can really open it up for the guys that maybe spray it a little bit off the tee. You have a little bit of wiggle room with those guys this week. And another thing to consider this week is 55%, roughly 55% of the second shots are going to come from 175 plus. So that means you're going to want guys that are good with their long irons, which, on these long courses, driver, long iron, it's kind of a good combo to have here to be successful. So you'll want guys that are good with their long irons. And then the last thing I'm looking at too is guys that are good at putting on Poa Trivialis. That's what they're putting on this week. You'll want some guys that are good at avoiding 3 putts. because with the greens being firm and fast, as I expected them to be more difficult on Saturday and Sunday, you're going to want guys that can putt on the firm and fast stuff. The way the greens are undulated, a bad putt could really, you could get into trouble quick from 20 feet and in, even here. Uh, so those are kind of the three things I'm looking at: bombers, guys that are good with long irons, and guys that can putt on Poa Trivialis. Those are kind of the three big things I'm looking for. It's a couple little things mixed in between, like scrambling. I'm considering. I put that into my model. Guys, strokes gained total on long, difficult courses. Those are some of the things I built into my model this week for what I was looking for. But as far as guys that I like for value this week, I really like Harry Hall. He's 7,200 this week. He bombs out the tee. He's good with the putter. He's definitely very inconsistent with his irons, but I think he's kind of sneaky. And it's another 72-person field. So I'm going to probably take some more chances this week. I have a pretty much the first 7 or 8 guys up top. When you open it up, like I could click on any one of those guys. I haven't even really decided on where I'm going with my lineup yet. There's 2 guys that I do like in particular. But like, I like Harry Hall as a value slash sleeper type play. Matt McCarty, another guy that I think is a good sleeper here. Not really a sleeper, but a good value play could be Yellow Miraju. Man, the guy's been playing great golf all year. He's a self-taught golfer, great story, easy to root for. He's another guy I like this week. And just kind of a dart throw down towards the bottom. He doesn't exactly make sense here this week, but for the sake of like picking one guy that could be different, I like Putnam. He's not a bomber. It's not really a great course fit for him, but with 72 guys in the field, and maybe you're looking for a way to get different, I think he's a guy that could be a possible way to make your lineup different down there at the bottom. So those are kind of the 4 guys that I kind of like as sleeper slash value plays this week. Guys that I think could have solid weeks. The guys that I do like this week, there's 2 guys that I really like this week that I'm probably looking to get into my lineups, and that's going to be Ricky Fowler and Akshay Bhatia. Ricky's been playing some really good golf of late. And I think this is kind of the course that lines up for him too. He hits the ball far. He's accurate off the tee, and he can get high with that putter. If he gets high with that putter, it could be a pretty good week for Ricky. And as far as Bhatia, same kind of deal, man. He's if his ball striking's there and he can putt without having to anchor that broom, he's a guy that could be a top 10 play this week. I don't necessarily expect Bhatia to win, but a top 10 finish is definitely in his range of outcomes. Uh, as far as Ricky, I think Ricky could win here, but there are a lot of good golfers up top. I mean, you like I said, the first 7 or 8 guys are guys that I could click this week. I don't really hate any of those guys up top. Just kind of go with what you like and just how you're trying to build your lineup salary wise. Obviously, if you click Rory first at 11.7, then you're gonna have to probably get a 6K guy in there potentially to kind of spread your lineup out a little bit. As far as the one guy that I'm going to be fading this week, that is going to be Kurt Kitayama. The projections I looked at had him coming in at like 13 to 15% or higher. He's just not a good enough player for that kind of ownership. I know he's had a couple good finishes recently, but when a guy like Kurt Kitayama, and I pick these guys like every week, that guys that are highly volatile. I mean, you saw him round 1 last week. He was in the tank, and he bounced back. I give him credit for bouncing back, but I just don't think he's that good of a golfer that he's going to be able to do that regularly. And I think he could be over-owned this week, and he could hurt some feelings this week for sure. So Kurt Kitayama would be the one guy that I'm fading this week. As far as just some thoughts for the week, really, like if you're looking at like Kurt Kitayama, the guy I'm fading this week, if you look in his price range, you've got who was all there? You got Jason Day right around him, Justin Rose. Akshay Bhatia, you got these guys all coming in 5 to 8% less owned than Kurt Kitayama, and arguably all of them are better than Kurt Kitayama at golf. So that's kind of my thought as far as why I'm fading the guy like Kurt Kitayama. There's just as good or better players around him not getting his owned. That's just a perfect leverage situation, especially when you go up top and you're going to click, Rory or Xander or Cam Young first or Fitz, and then you're going to click another 9,000 guy. You're going to probably get caught somewhere in the middle there with 82 to 7,800. Why spend it on Kitayama when you could get any of those other three I mentioned that are going to be half the ownership? That's just kind of how I look at certain spots like that. A guy like Kitayama is just not good enough to justify the ownership. Rory at 27 or whatever, he's going to be probably 25 to 30% owned. He's worth it. Rory, I feel fairly confident Rory's going to finish in the top 10 this week. Probably top 5. I mean, he's playing great golf. He might win. I don't know. Like it's kind of weird when Scotty's not around. I feel pretty confident in Rory, and he's just had the track record here, playing good golf, has the track record. I don't see a situation where Rory blows up this weekend or doesn't have a good week. That's just my personal thoughts on it. Um, but yeah, as far as our content goes here at Windy City Bro Pen, CP and I are looking to get a little bit of a Bulls discussion either tomorrow night or Monday night. We're going to talk about the new Bulls GM. Very excited. Been reading nothing but good things about him. So I'm very excited to hear what CP has to say about that. As far as Friday goes, I'll be back again with round 3 showdown strategy and just guys I'm looking at. And then we'll get back to the normal schedule. Sunday, we'll do a Sunday recap again. I apologize. I've been a little inconsistent lately. Life has been pretty busy, so I haven't been able to be as consistent as I'd like. But I think the schedule's clearing up for us going forward here. So I will be a little more consistent with my posting and getting you guys some good PGA DFS content. I just also want to say, man, thank you everybody for the likes, the shares, the follows. That stuff's all appreciated. We see it all, and we appreciate it all. Love getting the DMs, asking my thoughts on certain things. I really do appreciate all of it, guys. And if any of you guys are ever interested in hopping on, if you got like a sports topic you want to talk about, it could be anything Chicago related. It could be any professional sport related. You know what? If you want to talk wrestling, I'll get on here and talk wrestling with you. It might my past might just be like '07 and before that though. I won't be any relevant. I won't be relevant with what's going on lately. But yeah, if any of you guys are ever interested in hopping on, chatting, please let us know. We'll get you on, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on Chicago sports, your favorite players, favorite teams. Yeah, we'd love to hear it. So that'll be all for me tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be back with you on Friday. Have a good evening. Thanks.